What is good, Double Leg fam? It is time for the Double Leg Premium exclusive show. We're going to go through our bets for UFC Austin, give you a little insight on each and every one of them, go over some little last minute thoughts going into the fights, so you can get a little bit more confident in or more explanation because a sheet with the bets isn't always what you guys want. So just give you a little bit more going into Saturday tomorrow. We're filming this on Friday, and we'll get it out to you tonight, and then we'll post it on YouTube on Saturday night after the fights. But without any further ado, let's start it off. Main event, Beneil Dariush, Arman Tsarukyan. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I got one bet on this fight, and it's a prop bet for Tsarukyan or Dariush to win by sub. So this fight has to end by submission for us to hit. And the odds were plus 450. And I'm thinking, Dariush with the excellent ground game, he can take your back, he can find submissions, he's strong. Tsarukyan wants to wrestle, get top control, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that he wears down Dariush and finds a sub himself. So I thought plus 450 for this fight. It's a 5-rounder. We're going to have a lot of opportunities and a lot of submission attempts, I think, at some point in this fight. Plus 450, I had to jump on it for a quarter of a unit.
I like it. I went with the fight to not go the distance at minus 165 for a unit. I just think both guys are too capable. 5 rounds. Probably Arman usually pushes a pretty solid pace early too. And Dariush has the submission ability. He's got some knockout power. Tsarukyan's got knockout power. He's got submission ability as well. And with Dariush coming off the KO loss, with the age, you never know how durable he is. I mean, he's been knocked out, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
Pretty early in the fight too. So I thought minus 165 for the finishing ability on both sides was worth the shot at a unit there. But that's all I got on that one. Once again, as I say in every exclusive show, we're going to go over the DFS, so the underdog and parlay play at the end. So we're just going to go through the straight bets and parlays moving forward. But we got a co-main event, Jalen Turner, Bobby Green. What you got on that one?
Yeah, for this one, I didn't get to a bet here, and I'm just going to sit back and be a fan. Those things I liked on both sides, things I didn't like on both sides. So I'm just going to – you got anything on this one? Because I couldn't find one that I thought was good enough value for me.
Yeah, I like Jalen Turner a lot, but I just don't like the short notice, and I don't like what I saw in his last fight in the fact that after round 1 he slows down. So I think if Bobby Green can weather the storm in the first round, I might even look to jump in live after the first round. But for the plays that I got here, I got Green in round 2 at plus 1,400 for 0.1 units. Green in round 3 plus 3,000 for 0.1 units. And then I took Green by decision at plus 425 for a quarter of a unit there. So just some sprinkles, nothing too heavy. But I think if Bobby Green can get going in the second and the third, maybe find a finish, and then he could take the second and the third rounds and get the decision win there. So I thought there was really solid value on those numbers. I thought those were a little too inflated. So sprinkling on there. And we're pulling for Bobby Green to get another dub this weekend. Rob Font, Davis and Figueiredo, what you got on that one?
Yeah, man, I'm on a Rob Font money line at minus 135 for 1.35 units to win 1 unit. And, I wanted to get the Figueiredo at plus money, but I think it's almost a trap, dude. I think they're begging people to take him at plus money here. But, you look at the face-offs today at the official ceremonial weigh-ins, Font was a lot bigger than Figueiredo there. He looked like he was a head taller than him. He's longer. And, that boxing is some of the best at 135, which is a tough stacked division. I mean, look, you watch the Cheeto fight, and yeah, he got battered up in that fight. But, besides the knockdown in the second round, the knockdown in the third round, like Rob Font was winning on the feet up in those 3 rounds. This is a 3-round fight. I expect him to push a good pace. And, Figgy has good grappling, and people talk about his wrestling, but he's not like an offensive wrestler. He's not out there shooting crazy takedowns or anything. A lot of his takedowns and stuff come when his opponents shoot in for him and he can reverse position or trip him and stuff like that. So I think Font uses his range, uses his distance, hits him with the jab all night long. And we've seen Figgy hurt a lot on the feet before and put away. So I'm not going to be surprised that the power, the speed, and the boxing is too much for Figgy here.
Yeah, I've seen the same things. I got Font money line minus 122 for a unit, and then I got the fight will go the distance at plus 110 for a half unit. I think both guys are durable enough, and Figgy being the smaller guy in this one, I don't think he's going to be in there looking to, exchange like too heavy. I think he will try to clinch a little bit and try to get a feel for him to see how strong he is. I think it might be a little bit of a slow played fight. Font will work behind the jab. And, at plus money there, I thought it was good enough because these guys have been going to a lot of decisions in a lot of their fights. So
Yeah.
plus money on there, sign me up. Then I also got Font in a parlay with Zach Reese and Punahele Soriano. I put in a long time ago, plus 181 for a unit. And then I also got the over 1.5 in a parlay in that fight with the Gastelum Brady fight to go over 1.5 as well at minus 105 for a unit. So I got 3
I like
parlays out. 2 of them are, you know, round betting parlays. So they're kind of chalky, but I like them a lot. So I thought there was value on there and threw them on. But that's all I got for Font Figueredo. Keep her moving. Sean Brady, Kelvin Gastelum. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I think we're on opposite sides here. I'm on Kevin Gastelum here. I thought he looked sharp leading up to this fight. He's going to be at a lower weight class, probably his rightful weight class here at 170. He's got good hands. If his takedown defense holds up, I think he's going to have the advantage on the feet. I think he's going to be strong. Dropping down a weight class here, not going up. Brady's strong, but I just feel like he's got this edge in the striking. I think that's what judges are looking for. But I also took the over 2.5 rounds here at minus 120 for 1.2 units. I do see this one going long. I think we're going to get a decision. I think we're going to get somewhat of a close fight. And, if I cash both bets, fine. Need to get at least one of them to cash for a wash, but I'm liking my chances. I think it's a great fight, though. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're both on the over 2.5 there. I got it as well. Minus 125 for a unit. I think both guys are pretty durable. Both guys been going to a lot of decisions, and both guys kind of need a win here. So I think they'll fight a little bit conservative, not leaving anything out there to get caught or anything, and try to fight a little bit more technical. And then I went Sean Brady money line minus 113 for a unit. I just like the bounce back for Sean Brady here. I mean, the loss to Bilal, he was a favorite in that one against Bilal, and then he's coming in here as less of a favorite against Kelvin Gastelum. I just think the number's too good. Kelvin Gastelum doesn't have too many wins on his record in the past 4 years. And then he took the long layoff, comes back against Chris Curtis. The headbutt was controversial, arguable that Chris Curtis won that fight even with the headbutt. I just don't see that he should be this close with Sean Brady moving down. We've never seen him at 170. There's just a lot of unknowns. I like the Sean Brady side in this one, minus 113 for a unit. I'll take it there. And then I said before I got the over in that parlay. Clay Guida and I think is it Joaquim or Joaquim? I don't
I
even.
think it's Joaquim and like the American, like with an N, it'd be Joaquin. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Jay
Clay
Silva.
Guida, Joaquim Silva. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I got some bets on this one. I took Joaquim Silva by submission at plus 300 for a half a unit. And I also took him round one submission at plus 650 for point 0.2 units and round two submission at plus 1,000 for point 0.2 units. And what I'm seeing is obviously he's a powerful striker. He's got 3 submissions in his pro career, but this dude is a jiu-jitsu guy. Like he's even, it's in his Instagram name. It's what he goes by. And he's fighting a guy in Clay Guida with almost 60 professional fights, 42 years of age. He's a wrestler. He's going to be shooting takedowns and leaving that neck open. And we've seen him get submitted 9 times in his pro career by guys that aren't as good as Silva on the ground, in my opinion. I think Silva knows that if he doesn't knock him out or finish him, this is going to be a long fight because Clay does have a phenomenal cardio and he's a dog and he will shoot relentlessly with the takedowns and just put this pace on guys. So I do think he is looking for the neck early on one of those takedowns.
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. I got Silva by sub plus 325 for a quarter unit. If you just look at Clay Guida, he's only been knocked out twice in a long, long career, but he's been subbed 11 times. Uh, Joaquim is super heavy handed. but I think if he hates Clay Guida, he's not going to go out like the guys that he's put out before. So I think it could be a club and sub situation. Knocks him down. Clay Guida has to shoot some weird takedown, hits the sub, and we cash our ticket there. That's all I got on that one. Punahele Soriano, Dustin Stoltzfus. The only one I got on this is in the parlay that I mentioned before, but other than that, I don't got anything. What you got?
Yeah, so I've got a Punahele Soriano in a parlay with Wellington Turman plus 101 for 1 unit, and then I've got a sneaky prop on this fight. I got a Punahele Soriano by submission at plus 850, and this is just a long shot. It's 0.2 units, so it's not one I expect to win, but it's one I think is in the realm of possibilities. Soriano's got a few submissions on his record, and he can get the rear naked chokes, the guillotines. And I think Dustin Stoltzfus' only way to win this fight is to grapple, shoot for takedowns, and try to get Soriano tired. In the process, I can see him leaving the neck exposed. I could see Soriano knocking him down and finding the submission off of that. And at plus 850, I had to take a chance. Like I said, he's done it before. And the thing with Stoltzfus is, like, everybody talks about his chin, but really, you look at his record, what is it, 19 fights, 4 or 5 losses, and he's only been knocked out once, and that was to a front kick to the face by Magomedov. So it's not like this dude's getting flatlined by any means. So yeah, I could see Soriano, not being able to finish him on the feet, but snatching the neck up, kind of similar to Silva here.
Yeah, I could definitely see that as well. I was leaning like over under, but I'm like Stoltzfus is just, I don't know what to do with Stoltzfus, man.
Yeah.
He's weird, man. So I just kind of laid off, but I had Soriano in that parlay. Misha Tate, Julia Avila. What you got on that one?
Yeah, I'm on a I'm on Misha Tate money line here, and this I might regret this, but at the end of the day, Julia's coming off of this layoff. She's coming off having a baby, and if you saw that Instagram post going around, she weighed 100 pounds more than she did right now, just 12 months ago. So it's been a long year cutting down to this weight. That takes a toll on your body. I don't know how you go from 100 pounds heavier, cutting all of that, and then having a good gas tank and having good cardio to keep up with a wrestler like Misha Tate. Misha Tate, we were talking before this, the level of competition that they fought is just miles and miles different. Misha Tate's fought all the best. She's fought more often lately. I think she's going to be well more prepared. I think, with Julia having a baby, starting the family, like, I just see her coming in here for a paycheck and nothing more here. I don't see what she's trying to accomplish besides that. I think she could get ragdolled for two to 3 rounds.
I got nothing. I just pretty much laid off of that one. I didn't want to waste my money on it one way because I knew if I bet on it and it lost, I'd be like, why did I even take that? So, yeah, I just laid off. Cody Brundage, Zach Reese. The only thing I got on this one is Zach Reese in round 1, plus 135 for a half unit. And then I got Reese in the parlay that I mentioned before. I just think Reese just bigger, faster, stronger, fighting in his home state. He's super skilled everywhere the fight goes. And I think Cody Brundage, not to like shit on the guy, but he's just not doing it for me. I think Zach Reese has a good debut here and gets it done in round 1. Then I also got the under 1.5 in a parlay as well, paired up with the over 1.5 in the Drakkar Klose and Joe Selecki fight, plus 118 for a unit there. So we're expecting an early finish in that one. What you got?
Cody Brundage, 10 units on the money line. No, just no, yeah, I pretty much see the fight the same way as you. I just worry about Reese on the feet in round 1. Not that Cody Brundage is like this phenomenal striker, but he does hold a lot of power. And if he wins, like if you're taking Cody Brundage money line, you might as well take Cody Brundage in the first round. Like he's got 1 round of fight in him, it seems like. For Reese, though, like I watched the tape. I'm not impressed with the striking whatsoever. I've seen him drop before. He looks, not very technical on the feet. When he wins this fight, I think it's going to be Cody Brundage getting tired and him taking advantage of that on the ground, finding a submission. So ultimately, I threw in Brundage round 1, TKO, KO, or DQ because it hit last time for us. And that's his chance in this fight is round 1. That's plus 1,200 for a 10th of a unit. And then I took Reese round 2 submission, which was plus 1,300, which is why I took it. If Brundage can keep it even on the feet and hurt him a little bit and just hold position in that first round and get through the first 5 minutes, I think he's going to fade. And with Reese, maybe he feels that power in the first round, comes out in the second, wants nothing to do with it, gets him to the ground and finds the sub. So that's my thought process there. Two very long shot plays, not a lot of stake in them, but if they win, it'll be looking good.
Joe Selecki, Drakkar Close. I think we're on different sides in this one. I went with Drakkar Close minus 113 for a unit. I just don't like betting on one dimensional fighters. Joe Selecki seems to be one dimensional to me with the jiu-jitsu. Drakkar Close more well rounded, maybe a little bit older, but I think he can weather the submission attack of Joe Selecki, try to keep it on the feet and do some good work there. We've seen it against Jared Gordon, did a similar thing, worked out for him. I think Drakkar Close is kind of a similar fighter to Jared Gordon, and I think he could pull it off here for the dub. And then I mentioned before, I had the over 1.5 in that parlay. What you got?
Yep, I'm on Selecki. I took it early in the week. The line hasn't really changed like I thought it would, but I'm on him at plus 105 for 1.5 units. And I just like him in this spot. He is, fairly one dimensional. He's going to look to wrestle. He's going to look for the jujitsu. If he gets your back though, he's got such good top pressure, and when he gets guys back, they don't get up. And I could see that taking a toll on Close here. Close is off of almost a year and a half layoff, the knee surgery. I've never been high on Close like a lot of people have. He'll definitely have the striking advantage if he fins off the takedowns. He's going to win the fight. If he can't, he's going to lose the fight. It's simple as that. Plus money, I had to take a shot on Selecki.
Rodolfo Bellato, Ihor Potieria. You taking the dog, Ihor, or not? What do you got?
Hell no. I'm on Bellato by submission here in round two at plus 1,500. And in round three, I couldn't believe my eyes, plus 3,600 for a round three sub by Bellato. Now, I don't know if this fight gets to the third round, but at those odds, I had to take it. And my thought process on round two was one, the odds and the submission. He's a jiu-jitsu guy as well. Like he had the KO or the TKO in the Contender Series fight because his opponent was not good on the feet at all, and he knew that he was better than him and he could push a pace. Like I could see Bellato coming out and being a little calculated in the first round, boxing with Potiera, wrapping him up, maybe a takedown up against the cage. And from there, I think Eeyore gasses out, man. I think we've seen it time and time again. He doesn't have much energy. And Bellato showed in his Contender Series fight, he can put a pace on guys and keep some good energy going. So I do think somewhere in the second round, he sticks to his bread and butter because he wants to get that first UFC win, finds a submission, we cash a monster ticket.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Like, if you could survive the first round with Ihor, and it's not even like he's some crazy power puncher in the first round. It's just that after the first round, he drops off pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
I took Bellato round two plus 375 for a quarter of a unit, and Bellato round three plus 1,100 for 0.1 units. That's sub or KO. I don't know which one he's going to do because he is a submission guy, but it seems like lately he's been more willing to stand on the feet and engage. And if Ihor is, just gassing out, then he doesn't even need to look for a sub. He could just, ground and pound him out. So I just went with the safe play there, round two or three for some sprinkles. Wellington Turman, Jared Gooden. What you got on that one?
Yeah, for this one, I've got this fight not to go the distance at plus 100 even money. And I just took it for a half unit because it's not one of my more confident plays, but I think it has some value. Jared Gooden's only path to victory here is to get a knockout. Wellington Turman, he's not the best striker, but he does hold some power. Like he's a big, powerful dude. And if he gets the fight to the ground or he takes Jared Gooden's back, he's phenomenal with the jiu-jitsu. So I could see him finding the sub. So I think there's plenty of opportunities for this fight to finish. I think somebody could gas and the other one could finish as well. So yeah, plus 100, give me that.
Yeah, I was pretty hesitant to take Turman on the preview show. But after looking at it, I'm like, I think it's the right play. So I took Turman by submission or decision at minus 150 for a unit. Training with Glover and Pereira and in a new weight class that I think works out well for him at 170. I think he should be able to come in here and get a win. He's not a power puncher. He's got good submission skills. He could win a decision. Jared Gooden, I just don't think is that good. He's very hittable on the feet and on the ground. We saw in his last fight, he can get controlled pretty easily. And Turman on the ground is a lot better than Carlson Harris, so he could snatch up a sub. So Minus 150 for a unit there on Turman by sub or decision. First fight of the night, Jamie Lynn Horth, Veronica Hardy. One we're both on. Jamie Lynn Horth, I got her money line minus 140 for 1.4 units. This is a solid play for me. I think it's the biggest play I got. I mean, I'm usually not too heavy on anything because this is MMA, but 1.4 units, I guess, is the biggest play I got this week. And of course, it's on women's MMA. I mean, what could go wrong? But Jamie Lynn Horth, money line. She's still undefeated, going to be bigger, stronger, maybe not faster, but I think a little bit more skilled. Veronica Hardy could come in here with a good game plan. I expect her to, but I think Horth, it will just do the better work over the fight and a little bit more dangerous in spots as well. So I'll take her. What you got?
Yeah, I'm seeing the same exact thing. I'm on the same exact bet. I got her at minus 120 on Monday, and it feels like a phenomenal bet now, seeing what the odds are. Yeah, just I mean, she went up at weight class for her debut against Haley Cowan, who's not the best striker or anything, but who is physically strong and imposing, and she can wrestle and put girls up against the cage. And she did it somewhat with Horth, but when they were in space, like she was Horth was piecing her up and getting some good shots in and outstruck her by a mile. And then on the same side, like people talk about Horth's bad takedown defense. The only time Cowan took her down is off of a kick. Like Horth would kick, she was tired. Cowan would catch the leg and trip her up. It's not like she was putting her against the cage and dragging her down by any means. And Horth, when she was down, was able to get up. She threats off of her back. I think Veronica Hardy is going to have to get takedowns to win this fight. And being that small against a girl as big and strong as Horth, I just don't see it really happening. I think in space, Horth's going to touch her up.
All right. I guess we can move to the DFS plays. You got anything out on DFS this week or no?
I do. Not on the premium plays, but if you go to my Instagram, I've got Hardy over 56.5 significant strikes. I do think this is going the distance, and I do think there's going to be a lot of volume. And I've also got Bellato over 25.5 significant strikes, just because the pace he puts on dudes. Like, I don't think he's putting this guy away right away. I think he's going to land some damage.
Yeah, we'll go over mine on underdog. We got plus 8.5 significant strikes on Bobby Green. I think he's covered that in every single UFC fight except for one. The dude just is able to outland his opponents in a lot of fights. He lands, I think, almost 3 more significant strikes than he absorbs. So that significant strike ratio is a good bet to take the plus 8.5 there on Bobby Green. Pair that up with minus a half a takedown by Arman Tsarukyan. I don't expect Beneil to be shooting takedowns in this one. He'll probably elect to keep it on the feet more so than not. Tsarukyan probably going to be more looking for the takedowns there. So he's just got to land one more takedown than Beneil Dariush, and we hit. And then the next play, we got plus 14.5 significant strikes for Dariush, another guy that has covered this in I think all of his UFC fights except for one. And I don't expect him to lose it this time. So Dariush, we're getting a lot of significant strikes there for Dariush. I like it. Higher than 12 minutes of fight time for Sean Brady. We like the over 2.5. That's pretty much the same thing. Those two paired together. Next pairing, we got Stolzfus plus 16.5 significant strikes. Soriano super hittable on the feet. And Soriano could put him away early. 16.5 is just too big of a number. Pair that up with Turman, higher than 1.5 takedowns. He doesn't have a good takedown accuracy, but I expect him to have more success in this one. Gooden got taken down 5 or 6 times his last fight. I think Turman should be able to rack up 2 pretty easily. Those two are paired together. Last pairing, lower than 4.5 minutes of fight time for Reese, paired with lower than 11.5 minutes of fight time for Joaquim Silva. Those are 2 fights that I see some violence. All those pairings are 3x for a half unit. Parlay play at more than 25.5 takedowns for Bellato, like you said. Pair that up with Julia Avila, more than 47.5 significant strikes. She lands a lot of flurries on the feet. Miesha Tate took a lot of shots from Lauren Murphy her last fight. I think that number is just too low. Pair those up, 3x for a half unit. More than 2.5 takedowns for Tsarukyan. I think he could rack up 3 within the first 2 rounds, I think. Gamrot got 4 on him. Tsarukyan has a better accuracy than Gamrot does, so I think you should be able to get that. Less than 22.5 takedowns for Zach, or less than 22 and a half significant strikes, not takedowns. That would be amazing for Zach Reese, because I think he gets him out there pretty easily as well. And Cody Brundage does not take shots very well. He's not really a guy that likes to get hit. So those two paired, 3x for a half unit, and then add on Turman, more than 6 strikes, Veronica Hardy, more than 6 strikes, Joaquim Silva, more than 6 strikes, and Punahele Soriano, less than 6 strikes. And we're getting 75x for 0.1 units. And hopefully we can hit a little 7.5 unit banger there. And it'll be a good night no matter what happens. But those are the picks, or those are the bets going into UFC Austin for tomorrow. We got 4 p.m. Eastern start time. And after that, we got some BKFC. So stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. But got any final words for the premium members before we head out of here?
Yeah, I left off my lottery parlay, which is odds of plus 7,280 for 0.2 units to win nearly 15 units here. It's Bellato by submission, Silva by submission, and Rob Font by KO for a whopping 72, almost 73 to 1 here.
Let's go. Let's hit that, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Once again, we say it at the end of every exclusive show, don't get too high or too low. We got 12 fights. Manage your bankroll well. If we're up a lot to start the night, don't go crazy, doubling down. And if we're down to start the night, don't start chasing. Just stay the course. We got a lot of opportunities here to make some money. So stay the course. And at the end of the night, hopefully we'll be in the green, as we have been a lot of these UFC cards, because we've been damn hot. So let's keep it going. Good luck to everyone. Appreciate you all. And let's have another winning week.